So I want to start, first of all, by thanking Debbie Hart and the leadership of BioNJ for this incredibly humbling recognition. I'm certainly proud to be the honoree for this 30th anniversary. It's pretty extraordinary what BioNJ does to support New Jersey's incredibly robust life sciences industry. Industry, as you heard, and their influence, which has really influenced the development of novel solutions that improve health throughout New Jersey, the region, the US, and the world. And I couldn't be more pleased to be honored today. But let me take you back, because certainly I wouldn't be here tonight without the inspired leadership and support of Bob Garrett, with Andrew Pecora, Igor Sawchuk, and of course Saul Barra and the CDI board. Other leaders at HMH who have supported us strongly throughout. My CDI partners, many of whom are here today. All of my current and past academic, clinical, and industry colleagues, many of you who are also here tonight. And I am deeply appreciative of your support and, of course, your friendship. You know, the CDI was created to infuse science innovation into routine clinical care. All of this was going to be made possible by a revolution that we were experiencing in genomics, from whole genome sequencing to CRISPR technologies, gene editing, regenerative medicine, use of artificial intelligence, machine learning, drug technology for new novel drug discovery, RNA vaccine technology, and all of this put together to alter the sort of science, medicine, and commercial continuum that we all live in. Now, nearly 8 years ago, Bob Garrett and I, and then later Andrew Pecora, first discussed a concept for an academic-based research institute that could impact our patients with cancer, infectious diseases, other acute and chronic diseases. A pretty tall order, I would say. And I remember when I first discussed this with Saul Barra, he said to me, whatever you do, please don't do incremental science. Take on big problems. Okay, so let's take on the 20% of patients who fail conventional therapy, no matter what disease, that make up that standard of care, which treats 80% of our patients, but 20% don't benefit. We need solutions for those patients, and we don't have them yet. So let's take that on. And so let's make that a priority. And while we're at it, let's do something simple like let's prevent all healthcare associated infections. Too aspirational? Well, ask my colleague, Dr. Barry Kreisworth, if that's possible, or just look around the world where there are places that have done this. And so it is not impossible. In fact, Steve Jobs would say, this is all sort of trivial. These are not big issues to overcome. But certainly for healthcare, they're huge issues. Now, like many of my colleagues here tonight, I'm a basic and translational scientist. That's how I'm defined. But really, more accurately, I'm an academic entrepreneur. So my passion, as you've heard, is building and creating value. Value by engaging in high-risk, high-return science. So what does value mean to me? It means improving the health of our patients and creating financial and commercial success by delivering innovations to the clinic in the form of novel medical solutions. That's the value. So the vision for CDI was to change the way academic science is engaged in driving solutions for unmet medical needs. We say that unmet medical needs is driven it's written on my board. Unmet medical needs drive our science. Well, it's not just a catchphrase. It's actually a foundation stone for our translational science culture. It is what we're about. We want to be driven by the clinical need. And we all know, as I've mentioned, standard of care is important. Well, but standard of care was created 5-10 years ago, and we know 5 years from now it'll be different. So our job is to advance us to the next standard of care. Not now, not in 5 years, but now. To do this means we need to be embedded in the clinical reality of our patients. We need a deep understanding of the biology of their disease. And then we need to use this knowledge to overcome the disease by developing new solutions that either address their immediate disease or prevent disease. This is precisely why the CDI was embedded in a healthcare environment at HMH, at Hackensack Meridian Health, and not in a traditional academic environment. You have to go where the disease exists if you really want to be able to impact patients. So to be successful, we need to significantly alter the standard of care. We have to do it efficiently with clinical and commercial buy-in. But most importantly, we need to do this rapidly. And that's the key word. Because as BioNJ says, patients can't wait. Well, they can't. And frankly, if we're going to do this, in Saul's words, we need to be bold and not incremental. Take on important and big healthcare challenges. So can academic science really be mobilized in a way to make a difference in patient health? Well, as you heard, we were involved in the early part of the COVID-19 pandemic. And in fact, if you look back in time, we go back in time and study it, what you'll realize is that it was academic science, not government, not pharma or diagnostic companies, that played the critical and pivotal role in addressing the unmet medical needs imposed by COVID-19 by developing diagnostics and early therapeutics. So COVID-19, a collateral benefit, is that it highlighted the numerous capabilities of translational academic science at CDI and elsewhere, Rutgers, Princeton, Rockefeller, elsewhere. It's that concept that's now propelled us forward as an organization to create next generation medical interventions, including new immunotherapies for cancer, cell-based therapies, vaccines for tuberculosis, antibiotics for drug-resistant infections, fungal, bacterial, new antivirals against SARS-CoV-2 and the next pandemic virus. But there's innumerable medical challenges out there. I mean, you all know it. We see it and we experience it in our own lives, family, and friends. And we can't do this alone. I mean, it's folly to believe that we can create these solutions. It requires partnership. Partnership with academic centers, with clinicians, with biotech companies, with pharma, diagnostics, and device manufacturers. We need them all together. Indeed, we have an opportunity to make New Jersey, or to continue to have New Jersey to be a centerpiece for this new paradigm in academic science entrepreneurship that seamlessly engages clinical, commercial partners, biotech, pharma, device manufacturers, diagnostic companies, healthcare systems to drive innovative solutions. So let's create broad value for all of our partners and in turn improve the health of the region, the nation, and the world. This is our approach. Identify the challenge, define what success looks like, and engage all the partners who can deliver solutions, but most importantly, do it quickly and efficiently. Our fight is to prevent disease and promote healing faster, more effectively, more sustainably. We're not competing against our neighbors. Just like a vaccination race between nations can never have a winner, the stakes are too high. To the contrary, in today's world, progress flows from a diversity of approaches, partnership, and creating solutions from shared goals. So let's collapse the silos that slow development and drive up costs. Let's take on big problems and make a difference that is measurable and sustainable. Never accept the status quo and never seek to do what others are doing. Look beyond today's approaches and forge a new reality. Be bold, not incremental. Take Saul's advice. So let's exploit everything science has to offer. Let's put artificial intelligence and machine learning to improve outcomes. Let's take data from millions of patients across the globe and use it for precision medicine to treat a single individual. We don't treat statistics. We treat individuals, one patient name at a time. But we need these larger tools to help us improve that therapy. So this is our charge, and we must meet it. The CDI will continue to innovate, push the boundaries of actionable science to all to benefit. And in turn, we will create value. It is the legacy of New Jersey, from Edison to Bell Labs to Celgene to Becton Dickinson to many other companies and industry leaders who have changed the way we live. Let's innovate and be bold, and let's come together to do this. So with that, I'll end. Thank you very much for your attention.